Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Do you enjoy keeping Medaka? Here in Japan, winter is just around the corner, so the Medaka kept outdoors are slowly entering their overwintering mode and they are not very active anymore. However, I'm planning to continue enjoying Medaka indoors during the winter. To be honest, I was thinking of taking a break from keeping Medaka during the cold season, but since so many people have recently become interested in them, I decided to keep raising mine and share real-time information with you. Today's topic is something many beginners wonder about. How many Medaka can you keep in a tank? Since Medaka are such small fish, it's easy to think you can keep a lot of them in a small container, right? And actually, Medaka are very hardy fish, so depending on how you manage the tank, it is possible to keep quite a few in a small setup. But on the other hand, I often hear beginners say things like, I'm keeping them at a reasonable density, but they keep dying one by one. So in this video, I'd like to explain the topic in detail based on my experience and knowledge. Whether you already keep Medaka or you are thinking about starting, I hope you'll watch this video until the end. On this channel, I, Hiro, a Japanese Medaka enthusiast, share information about Medaka and Japanese aquarium culture with people around the world in English. If you're interested in Japanese aquarium and fish, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Oh, and I'm still studying English, so I'm not very good at speaking yet. To make sure I provide accurate information, I wrote scripts for my videos, but I still make mistakes sometimes. That's why I also include subtitles. So if my English is hard to understand, please turn on the YouTube subtitle feature while watching. Alright, let's get started. One common guideline you'll often see in Japanese books and websites about keeping Medaka is 1 liter of water per fish. I mostly agree with this idea, but if I just ended it there wouldn't be much point in making this video. So let's dig a little deeper. First of all, 1 liter per fish guideline usually refers to adult Medaka. It also assumes that beneficial bacteria are well established. Regular water changes are being done. For example, if you have an indoor tank of about 10 liters, with a filter, substrate, and you can change about half water once a week, then keeping 10 fish, 1 liter per fish, can be relatively stable. However, if the tank is newly set up and the bacteria haven't developed yet, or if you don't have a filter, keeping 1 fish per liter may be difficult. When I used to sell Medaka at events, I recommended starting with 1 fish per 2 or 3 liters. Lower density makes it much less likely to fail. Then, after monitoring the water conditions, I would explain that you can gradually increase up to about 1 fish per liter as the upper limit. Now, let me show you the containers I'm currently using at home. I mainly keep my Medaka outdoors, and the first one is this 5-liter plastic lotus bowl. Sometimes I use aeration and sometimes I don't. In this container, I keep up to around 2 adult Medaka and in some cases nearly 100 juveniles. I change about 1/3 to half of the water every 7 to 10 days. Next is this 30-liter around container. It's actually meant for storing vegetables for home gardening, but it's inexpensive and very useful. I also use this container for stocking adult fish and raising fry. I sometimes use a 10-liter bucket as well. I mainly use it for pairing adult fish, and when raising them, I keep a maximum of around 10 fish. The last one is a shallow concrete mixing tub that I use as a biotope. It's not very deep, but it has a very wide surface area, which is great for Medaka. Let me also introduce some containers my Medaka friends use. Many of them are types I've used in the past as well, so I hope this helps as a reference. The first one is a toolbox called an NV box. It's very popular for keeping Medaka because it's durable and inexpensive. And they usually come in 30-liter and 22-liter size, and the color vary: black, gray, white, and so on. Another common container in Japanese, what we call a jump tub, available in 60-liter, 80-liter, and 120-liter sizes. These hold a lot of water and are very deep. There are also ceramic lotus bowls, which are great for displaying Medaka and have a high ornamental value. For indoor setups, many breeders line up multiple small glass tanks and use them for breeding. I've actually uploaded a video in the past about Medaka containers, so if you're interested, please check that one out as well. In general, for most aquarium fish, the stability of the water quality depends on the water volume and the amount of filtration in the closed system. This basic rule also applies to Medaka, but there is an interesting point I want to share. The relationship between the surface area of the container and stocking density. In Japanese, the word Medaka is written with characters meaning eye and high, referring to the fish having eyes positioned high on the head. They have an upward-facing mouth and their eyes are set slightly higher, and when you watch them, you'll notice they spend a lot of time swimming near the surface. Because of this behavior, many hobbyists believe that the surface area of the container is an important factor when keeping Medaka. According to one book, the following formula can be used to determine stocking density for Medaka based on surface area. Using this formula, let's look at the containers I mentioned earlier. Interestingly, using this calculation, the 50-liter lotus bowl can hold up to about 53 fish, while a 60 cm aquarium, despite having similar water volume, can hold only around 36. This book didn't explain the details behind this formula, but my guess is that stress caused by high density, unrelated to water quality, plays a major role. Considering Medaka behavior and ecology, I think this conflict Medaka sense to some degree. So I encourage you to use these numbers as a reference and think about the ideal stocking level for your own setup. Up until now, we've talked about stocking density based on water volume and surface area. All of this information is useful, but in reality, a closed environment can't be evaluated by container size alone. Many different factors affect how many Medaka you can successfully keep. Medaka are very hardy fish, so you can keep them without aeration or substrate. However, if you follow basic aquarium practices, water quality becomes much more stable, and you can safely keep more fish. Even location of the container makes a big difference. Sunlight, ventilation, and climate all affect the water environment. And of course, water conditions and climate in Japan can be very different from those overseas. One major factor, in my opinion, is whether you keep them indoors or outdoors. In Japan, many hobbyists say that outdoor keeping is easy, while indoor keeping is difficult. I believe this is strongly related to clean water, but I'll explain that in detail in another video. What I want to say is this: adapt your Medaka keeping to your own environment. In my experience, simply raising several generations in your setup will gradually produce fish that become stronger and better adapted to your conditions. So what do you think? Today we focused on stocking numbers, especially density, when keeping Medaka. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you have a request for other topics you'd like to see, feel free to leave a comment. Your likes and comments really encourage me to keep making videos. I'll continue sharing Japanese aquarium culture and fish world, so please look forward to future videos. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.